Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Cheyenne here, and we are coming at you again with another fluency philosophy video. But for today's video, there's no whiteboard. It's going to be a little shorter, and it's just going to be a free flow of some ideas that have been flowing through my head and flowing out of my mouth recently. Let's jump right into it. So, for me, and I am just talking about my own personal experience in this video. Maybe you can glean something from it if you want. I'm not too worried about that, though. I'm here to practice my speaking. So for me, this is just a little bit of what you may call it is self-therapy, but a little bit of a weird kind of self-therapy, or a pretty intense kind. So for me, speaking about my experience, where I've come from and my journey, as I like to say, I want to talk today about the lever or lever that is really helping me to pull back the curtain on a lot of my life. And it is the topic of self-love, or to put it more plainly, how you view yourself. So for me, the ultimate test of how you view yourself, especially being somebody who's very self-conscious about their speaking, what you do is you record a video of yourself talking, and you don't have to post it, but you record yourself talking and you watch it, and you be very still and quiet, and you listen to what is popping up, your inner talk, or the little voice in your head. You play back the video of you speaking, and you just get really quiet and really still. It's very challenging to do. It's not impossible, though. And you pay attention to what emotions are stirring while you are watching yourself speaking on video. And again, it doesn't have to be posted or anything. It's just for your own personal help yourself. So when I did that 2-3 years ago, I couldn't even watch it back. I said, I'm not watching it. And I did it over and over and over again. And finally I said, all right, I hit the wall. I'm like, dude, we got to do something, bro. Like we can't, I don't want to live like this anymore. Let's do something. So then started a little bit of meditation to quiet the mind, to actually be able to understand what is coming through your mind. The biggest obstacle for me to being able to follow my stomach or listen to my heart, or however you want to put it, was getting out of flight or fight mode and doing whatever I have to do to stay away from that as much as possible. And again, this is the things I'm talking about right now. I've been working on them for years. So I'm just speaking it like it's so easy to do, just stay out of a fight or flight mode. Well, I've put myself through a lot of shit to be able to stand in this shit and to not have a panic attack. Because for my entire life, first thing in the morning, waking up in a panic attack state, you don't want to live that way anymore. You get to a point where it's like, I don't want to live, or I want to figure this out. And I chose I want to figure this out route. So here we are trying to figure it out. So back to the original point of the video was, for me, I'm just talking about my own experience, one of the strongest levers or pushes is simply that I hated myself. Let me just put it in plain language. I did not like to look at myself. I did not like myself at all. I would have been perfectly okay if I was not alive anymore. And you cannot be creative. You cannot start a business. You cannot expand a business. You cannot help other people. You can't live a good, normal life if you genuinely do not like who you are. And how do you know if you don't really like who you are? For me, it was like a speaking thing, because of the whole little stuttering thing or whatever. But for me, it was like, all right, well, let's see what you actually look like on camera, because that's the reality of the situation. Let's not sugarcoat it. Let's stop like hiding. Let's just be very real and honest with ourselves, with myself. So let's put the camera on and let's just see what you look like when you talk. And then I did that, and it took about 2 years for me to finally be able to watch myself speak and be like, ha, that's funny, dude. You're just kind of like stuttering a little bit. And it's not that big of a deal. I don't know why you're so stressed out. You're just speaking to a little screen right now. You're not even speaking to anybody. It's just a wall, but you're losing it, dude. But it's okay. I love you. We're going to work through this together. But I think you might be exaggerating a little bit, because you're not being attacked by a lion. You're not being stabbed or in a fight. You're literally just like reading a book, speaking to a person, speaking out loud. And because I already know in my bottom of my heart somewhere, even though I don't truly believe it yet, I know there's nothing wrong with my voice box, because when I speak to the wall or speak to the carpet, or I'm very chilled and relaxed, I'm not even thinking about speaking or fluency or stuttering or nerves or anything. But the second I turn the camera on or speak on the phone or in stage or to a person that's got a little bit of importance, things start to crumble. So if I hold on to that truth in the middle of the emotional response, the panic attack, the palms, the collapsing of everything, like in your head, just kind of like it just like the whole thing just starts to just, while that's happening, I'm like, all right, you can collapse, you can cry, you can do whatever the heck you want to do, but I just want you to know, while you're collapsing and having a panic attack, and while you think the world is over, let me just be a little reassurance to you that there's nothing wrong with your voice. Okay, cool. Now you can go away. Let me do my panic attack, do my stuff. Let me try to feel better. But let me just remind you that you're creating an explosion out of, like, you're putting a stick and you're falling over like your own stick, because you prove to yourself there's nothing truly wrong with your voice. And then you turn the camera on and you can't even speak right. So I'm not being mean to you. I'm just telling you I love you. You might be exaggerating a little bit, and I have proof there's nothing wrong with your voice. So don't leave me now. Just have your panic attack And then let's calm down and let's come back to reality, which is over here. There's nothing wrong with my voice. Can I practice for 5 minutes today? Can I just stay calm for 5 minutes today? Can I learn how to have my panic attack and not allow it to ruin my entire day or 2 days or a week or 2 years? Can I do that? Can you have your panic attack for 10 minutes instead of for 10 hours this time? And then come back to reality and spend a little time with me to practice today? Can you do that with me? Yes, I can do that. Just let me have my panic attack because this feels good to me. It feels comfortable. I want this because after this I get so tired and then I sleep for the entire night and then I'm just like, oh, the world's over and I can't do anything about it. So, hey, let's just have another day. Or can we just have our little panic attack? Maybe we go for a walk and say, hey, there's nothing wrong with your voice. I think you're exaggerating a little bit. I understand that you've been struggling with this for a while, and don't put so much pressure on yourself that you have to speak perfectly all the time and you have to speak perfectly fluent today, because that's ridiculous. Just be kind to yourself and just love yourself and have some fun while you're doing it, because it's really not that bad. You're just learning how to talk like a child again. Oh, when a child learns to walk, he falls and he gets back up. He doesn't stay there for 2 weeks and say, I fell, I suck at life, I can never walk. No, he doesn't even think about it. He just falls and gets back up. Oh, I'm gonna try again. But when I fall in my speaking, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, for 2 years, for 2 months, I have to be like that? Why? And I study the kids, and they stutter. And there is zero emotional attachment to the activity of speaking, to the activity of tossing a ball, or even walking. They fall, they don't even flinch. They're like, this is how you learn. How can you learn how to walk without falling? This is literally how you walk. You fall and fall and fall, and then you fall a little less and you fall a little less. But what's important, and I'm studying the kids, and what's important is they fall, but there is no emotional attachment to the fall. It is like, it's just a part of their day. Oh, I fell. They don't even look around. They stand back up and they're like, oh, let me see if I can make it from the couch now to the kitchen. Falls again. Oh, crap. Let me try to make it to the kitchen again. Oh, crap. Now compare that to me learning how to speak. Well, oh my God, oh God, I can't talk. My voice is messed up. I'm never gonna be able to talk. I'm never gonna have a job. I'm never gonna get married. I'm never gonna have kids. I'm gonna be stuck in my house all day. I'm gonna stay at my parents' house. Oh my God. Dude, you just fell down. Try again. It's not a big deal. Try again. Get back up. Try again. If you fall, study what you did a little bit and maybe try something new. And keep on with the combinations until slowly things start to work and you find out what works for you. And then you get a little stable ground and you're like, oh crap, I can walk from here to the kitchen. Oh crap, I can speak to my parents on the phone. Oh crap, I can have half a day where I'm not stressed out all day. That's better than starting my day in a panic attack. Oh, wow. Let's see if I can extend it for like a couple days. Oh, well, I woke up in a panic attack today. Okay. Let's kind of do a little bit of a reset. Let's do a little bit of a reality check for myself and say, okay. What is the panic? You're living in America, the best country in the world. You have everything laid out for you. I mean, you really don't have anything to complain about. Like, nobody is at your door trying to shoot you or to rob you. You're not in a war. They're not going to put you in a war. Why are you panicking, dude? It's okay. You can panic, dude. Panic all you want. I'm just curious. Like, should we save the panicking for when you're about to get jumped, maybe? I'm not telling you how to do it. I'm just asking a question. I'm not telling you have to do it today. I'm just asking a question. Do you think we should maybe stay a little calmer so we can conserve our energy in case there is actually an opponent who actually wants to do harm, which is a real thing, and then we can unleash that primal hormonal squirt, is what I like to call it because I'm very familiar with it by now. How about we save that primal hormonal squirt for when you really need it? Like if there's a pit bull sprinting at you when you're going on a walk in the neighborhood, or you're in the street and all of a sudden you get a couple guys around you and it's like, oh, snapper doodle, we're about to party, baby, about to party. Now, I'm not telling you to fix it today. I'm just asking you a question. Do you believe that would be a smarter option for you? Yes. Okay. Now, let's take all the pressure off. Today is not the day that you're going to stay out of flight or fight mode. Today is not the day that you're going to speak with fluency. Let's take all the pressure off. There's no pressure to talk perfect today. Now that there is no pressure, now let's see if the time we spend in a panicked state, let's see if we can make that shorter and shorter. Because there is this little space in time, and I don't have the word for it, but it is, what happens is something happens that, we'll just say, it brings you down. And the question is, how long do you stay down? And that's all it is. So let's say, I'll use my personal example. Okay. So for my entire childhood, school and speaking was very hard. It was a cause of a huge amount of anxiety, to the point of having a panic attack every day from the first thing in the morning. So the problem herein lies is that, so I'm in school and I cannot be hard on myself because I didn't really even understand anything about this. I was just trying to survive. That's all I was trying to do for the first 30 years of my life, was trying to make it to the end of the day to get under the covers. Like literally the first 30 years of my life, that's pretty much all I was doing. So what I'm trying to explain here is that when something that you perceive, that I perceive, is like a bad event. So for me, it was speaking like as a kid or whatever. So I speak and I don't have the fluency and I stumble and stuff happens. Oh crap, I wanted to go speak to this person and I had to go to an appointment. I totally bombed it. The person was like staring at me, all kinds of, what's wrong with this guy? I mean, obviously, because I'm doing all kinds of stuff. And then I get a huge emotional response, just a flood of adrenaline, all that. Now, the question is, before, I would stay low or stay very depressed, is probably the good word for it. I would be in a state of mind that is very low, and I would stay there for 2 weeks at a time, a month at a time, sometimes years at a time. I would stay in a constant state of, I would just say, hating myself, right? And then I said, okay, how about if you try to make the spaces that you feel stuck, because obviously life is not very fun when you're in that just kind of low state of mind. You can't create anything. You can't be playful. You're just in a survival state. So the question that I started to ask myself was, I understand you've got this little thing with the little panicky thingy, the anxiety. I get it. It's totally cool. I'm not asking you to change that. But what I am going to ask of you, Cheyenne, is when you have those little episodes of hating yourself, can you maybe, possibly, just hear me out, can you maybe possibly to make those episodes of hating yourself after you have what you call a bad event or whatnot, or like, oh, this was like really embarrassing or like just a stressful event, can you make those periods of depressed emotions a little smaller and 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 a little smaller until you can stand in a crowd and scream like a coyote and slap your hands and jump up and down and squeal, and you literally don't even care about what anybody thinks. Can you make that time where you hate yourself a little bit smaller? Can you do that? And if I was really honest with myself, I'm like, yes, I can, because there's a lot of things I enjoy to do. So how about when I start to hit that, oh crap, I'm like, okay, it's coming. Let it come. I feel it. This is what anxiety feels like. Okay. I feel it. I don't like this feeling anymore. I feel it. My palms are sweaty. My heart is racing. I want to just run for a long time. I wanted to pick up heavy things, and okay? Now, I know what it feels like. I can literally feel the hormone squirt from my head. I can literally feel it because I am so familiar with it. Because literally for first thing in the morning, every day for 30 years, you become very familiar with something you do every day for 30 years. So I can literally feel the squirt of the hormones and then it goes right to my stomach, and my stomach just gets this, and then it comes back up, and then I get really high in my chest, and then I'm ready to party, baby. Let's go. Now, that whole experience, it technically speaking, from a biological standpoint, that whole experience is only supposed to happen when you are threatened for your life. So, how many times, being a person that lives in the first world, I mean, it does happen, but how many times am I actually being threatened for my life? And the answer is very few. So, is it possible that I'm exaggerating? Yes, it's possible that I'm exaggerating. Okay, hold on. Don't worry, today's not the day we're gonna have to fix anything. Today is not the day for fluency. We're just having a conversation, dude. We're just speaking to ourselves. Today's not the day, dude, chill out. You can do whatever you want today. It's not the day. I just wanted to talk to you and ask you a question. And the question was, do you think you might be exaggerating a little bit? I'm not telling you to fix it. I'm not asking you how to fix it. I'm not telling you to stop panicking. I am just asking you a question. Can you please just be very truthful with yourself and say, am I possibly exaggerating just maybe 2%? Like, I went to the store, I stuttered in front of the cashier. She doesn't even, she's probably hungover and staring at her iPhone all day, TikTok. I'm not trying to bash her, I'm just trying to say she's not